I got involved in this movie through the director, Steve Loader. It's the first film I've ever worked on, so this whole experience is brand new to me. But he had been a big fan of my music as an artist for many years, and so he says he was listening to my records a lot while he was working on the movie, especially during his commute to work every day. And so he came to one of my shows and approached me afterwards and sort of very mysteriously said, I have this project I'm working on. I can't tell you too much about it, but I'd like to get you involved. And then I walked into this building and was like, what am I in store for here? And it's been a dream come true. Many bucket list items checked off for my musical career. It's been incredible.
Well, it's interesting because we don't know when we first meet him, do we? You know, so as Fawn is going down into the cave, you know, Bleu came up with some unique instruments, and we're hearing the pots and everything. In fact, at the opening sequence, you know, we know there's a storm, we know there's a beast that we haven't met before, so we're hearing the trash cans and the tom-toms and the whirly tubes and all these other unique instruments that he came up with. And then it's, you know, through the course of one of the songs, we find out that, you know, Fawn and Gruff's relationship changes, and then, you know, he is a nice animal. So
I think part of the excitement of the film, and, you know, musically all these sounds play into it, is that there's a process of discovery with his character throughout the film. We get to, like, find out about him, you know, the same as Fawn does. And so musically, some of it is eerie and sometimes dangerous almost sounding at the beginning because we don't know who he is yet. And I think that, you know, that creates a real emotional impact. I think it was more just exploring all these unique sounds and finding truly unique sounds, things that had not been used on any other film before. That was really probably the biggest challenge of it, was to figure out a way to record things so that they sound good and could still meld with the orchestral score, but things that haven't been done before. But, you know, obviously I think that's what gives the soundtrack something different, certainly than you've heard in the other Fairies movies, but I think it's even a unique film score in general, you know. I actually enjoy working both ways. I'm an unusual writer. I think in that aspect, most people either like to start with a lyrical idea or a hook or something of that nature, or they like to start with the music. But I really like to mix it up. But in this particular case, I had seen an early version of the end of the film, and I knew that it was going to be a really sad and emotional moment. And Steve said, hey, you know, no guarantees, but I want you to try to come up with something for the end credits. He mentioned this to me at dinner while we were having sushi. And it just, the idea kind of popped into my head wholeheartedly, because I thought, well, this is a beast that goes to sleep for 1,000 years. It's an incredibly sad moment, and a lot of people end up crying at the end of the movie and all that sort of thing.
And to that point, it's interesting because Steve also wanted to keep that emotion through the beginning of the credits. So, you know, the song you wrote was very touching in that respect.
Yeah, it allows you to continue to be in the film for a little while longer, you know. And of course, it was incredible getting to work with KT Tunstall and singing a duet with her was like beyond my wildest dreams. Even when I started my journey on this film, that was the last thing that kind of came together and happened too, was that I was gonna get to do this duet with her. So it was like, you know, it was amazing.